Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new targeting priority feature in Command Modern Operations. But before I do that, I've got to say, man, are those elevators low in the water. That seems a little sketchy, but it's an aircraft carrier, what are we going to do? So what is the target prioritization feature? Well, it was something that was added just a little while ago that basically gives us the ability to select how we want to engage things, which we've had quite a bit of control in the past over with the WRA. So what we're going to do is that we're going to demonstrate the problem first, and then we're going to kind of look at exactly what we can do to kind of address it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get us started today by grabbing us a handy dandy A6, because why not? I don't want to ruin my fun there. Let's do an A6. I'll grab a 1963 version. Why not? Go ahead and load it up with a bunch of bombs. Oh yeah, that'll do the trick here. Now, as you know, if I were to just grab this plane, press that lovely, actually, before we do that, we have to tell it to go ahead and, let's see here, ignore plotted course. Yeah, we wanted to do that. So I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to press the F1 key and go ahead and click on our Homestead Air Force Base there. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this in the Cold War database will be revealed shortly. So you can see my A6A is dropping some altitude here. Starting to pick up. It's lining itself up with this lovely runway. It looks beautiful. There's plenty of targets down here that it can go ahead and select. You can see it's locking on. Let me go ahead and pause for just a second here. I'm going to grab this targeting vector. So I'm going to do selected unit. You can see it is hypothetically attacking everything here. But the important thing here is what it actually attacks. So we're going to run down the runway. Obviously, priority targets are going to be things like hangars, everything along those lines. It's getting real close. It's getting real close. And you'll observe that it picked the closest object that it could attack, which happens to be the runway access point number 2. Now, yeah, that's definitely priority for that many bombs that's just deployed down onto the runway. Now, for those of you who are veterans of this game, you're like, that's not a big problem. I solved that by, going in and changing the way the weapons, and oh yeah, that good job, A6A. You've done everything we've designed you to do. So that didn't really work the way that we really wanted it to, unfortunately, on account of the fact that it just targeted the thing that was closest to us. Now, what if we had a little more control over what it actually attacks? The reality is we do now. So let's go ahead and grab another one of those. I'll grab that one. I'm going to grab myself the Mark 84 because science. I'm going to go ahead and line them up at the runway here. I'm going to go ahead and adjust his WRA so that he ignores the plotted course. And this time, I'm going to go to the targeting priority screen. Now, the targeting priority screen is just another form of doctrine in ROE. That means you can do it for individuals, you can do it for groups, you can do it for missions, you can also do it globally if that's something you want to do. Now, people who do a lot of scenario design are going to be spending a long time in here now because they're going to want to be able to adjust this to get a really perfectly fine-tuned engagement. So I'm going to go ahead and press the create button. When you do this, it's going to go ahead and create one. Now, when you see this for the first time, you're going to be sitting there going, what? So there's two parts. There's the actual priority, and then there's the actual items that you're prioritizing, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is press the Add Item button, and it's going to bring this up. So this is going to go ahead and give you, this is really, really handy, by the way. If you click this box, it only lets you target the things that are available inside the mission, which, oh my gosh, this is so useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select the target and priority here. I'm going to click on Facility. Let's see here. That looks pretty good to me. Supply, we'll do a Surface Facility. And let's see here. We're going to pick latrine. Now, you're probably going, wait, what? But now you'll notice that up at the top here that we have a new little option. We have engagement timing. And of course, this has been set to the immediate, which means that this is going to be our priority when we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, if we wanted to add another priority here, I can just press Add Item. We go back to Facility. And let's say our secondary priority is, oh boy, what should we blow up here? So many good things to attack. Oh, let's go make this back to Facility. We'll go, and he's fine. Make sure you hit the right button. All right, we'll go down to building surface, and we'll go do a second priority on the control tower. Because, why not? So what we have now is we have a couple priorities. And again, the way this works is if you read at the bottom here, editing priority list for this doctrine, remove or omit it. Priority list from this doctrine. And remember, stuff at the top is first, stuff at the bottom is going to be whatever. Notice, by the way, this any business going on down here, this is the last priority. If you were to do this for some reason, that would mean these two priorities are actually going to come after our any priority. So it's really important you kind of keep that in the back of your mind. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to grab this guy and go ahead and order him to attack Homestead Air Force Base again. So what you're going to see here, let me go ahead and get rid of the targeting vectors so we don't go blind here. And he's going to come around, and he's going to immediately consider what his priorities are as he's swinging around to go ahead and drop his bombs. Now, if you recall from before, when he did his little bombing run here, I'm going to go ahead and delete that real quick, just to let him go ahead and drop some altitude here. His original priority was to attack the thing that was closest to him. So now if I actually take a look here, and I'll go ahead and watch my little attack, you're going to watch these bombs come flying way, 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 way down to Earth here. Yeah, they're dropping, they keep coming down, just gliding down towards the ground. Boom! And you can see that the target here was our tarmac and not the particular outhouse over here. Now, the reason you're doing that and the reason you're seeing that is like, wait, what? I thought I ordered you to prioritize that. Well, remember, whenever you do a manual attack, you're actually overriding whatever type of priority that the particular unit is. In which case, even with the target prioritization, it's still going to emphasize trying to attack an object that is the closest to it that it has the weapons for. So in this case, even though we really, really wanted to blow up the latrine here, and we ordered it to attack, the only way we would have actually destroyed the latrine is if we came in from this side. Let me show you what I mean. All right, we're all nice and lined up and coming right on in. You can see him coming from the south here. Our little aircraft is swooping down from high altitude. He's a little high up right now. So again, all I've done is press the F1 key and left click on it like that. It has the exact same target prioritization as it did before. Our intruder is going to drop down to lower altitude. Now you can see that nice little dive it just did there to kind of drop it. Of course, my brain immediately thinks of all, the AAAs, the S60s, and the KS12s. I'm taking pot shots at an A6. The bombs are going to be delivered. And of course, if you observe, the closest target there is actually going to be that one right there. We're going to go sail right over the top of that one, keep on cruising, and the bombs get dropped. And in this case, you will notice that kaboom! Our new priority target happened to be the access point again. So that's one of those things, like I was mentioning, when you're doing those automatic attacks, it doesn't matter. It's going to try to ignore it, and it's going to go ahead and do that strike based on what it feels most appropriate. Now, you're probably saying, well, this target prioritization thing doesn't seem to be working very well then. Isn't it supposed to prioritize targets? It does, but the big thing is we have to know how to tune it in such a way that actually makes sense. So you've been very helpful, Mr. Intruder. Choo! Oh, and now he's gone. Lost. I guess he must have had an engine failure or something like that. You know, those old intruders are a little unreliable. All right, so let's show you another way to approach this problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a good old-fashioned Control F1 real quickly. Actually, let's be cool. Control right-click. I'm going to grab a rectangle. I'm going to drag a box around my targeting zone here. Would you like to create a zone entity from this defined area? Isn't that cool? Yes, I do. So then you can come up here and it pops up this thing now. This is so neat that we can do this. Target region. Region. Helps if you spell things properly. It's been a long week. All right, so now we have ourselves a new region. If you're curious, by the way, if you're actually to come up here, look at all these really cool new options we have here. This is definitely for another video. But if you actually were to go in here, you can see that I've got my little target region, and I can change what mode it's on and everything. It's just so cool. We can transform it into a no navigation zone. It's so slick that we have that capability now. It's going to be fun to try to update all the documentation for all this, but I got to have a project for next week. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab our CVBG. Actually, not even. I'm going to press Control F11. We're going to go say blow up airport. Now, how many times have I done a mission like this? But we're going to go ahead and set this to go ahead and be a ground attack patrol. This is anti-surface warfare, ground. I'm not going to get a package. I'm not going to do anything like that. It's fine for me. I'm going to press the OK button. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everybody. I always think that great scene in The Professional. You can think of, was Gary Oldman's character there. Give me everyone. I'm sure you know that one. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and grab this guy down here. We're going to make a little bit bigger flights here. We'll do groups of 4, so they have a little bit of backup. I don't want an area rule. This is just going to be a mob attack here. Notice that we already have everything, but check this out. You can push this button now and pick the one that you want. That's so cool. I love how they have that built in now. And of course, we can do a prosecution area. I'm not going to worry about any of that. Let's see, our station altitude here, we're going to go pretty low. We're going to go, I really wish I could just type in, custom altitude. What was I saying? I could just come in here and go like that. So this would be the AGL button, by the way. Flying terrain altitude. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. I don't mind that. So we're going to have all this stuff looks good. Let's see, time on station. I'm not going to do any of that. I just don't need to do any of that for this. This is just an example. Let's see, unknown contacts, QRA. I'm not going to worry about that. We got this one. Looks good. We're not attacking with submarines. MCON RAH. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go woo. And first of all, I'm going to turn on strafing, which, because, they can't strafe, but why not? And I'm going to go up to targeting priority, and I'm going to create myself a targeting priority. Editing priority. Remove will completely delete it. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and press this button, and we're going to go ahead and do some prioritization here. Again, I love the fact there's a little button down here to make your life a little bit simpler for this. We're going to go down to subtype. Obviously, runway is not a priority. I don't want them to waste a single bomb on that. Any surface building, that is not going to be a priority either. Much more open to this one right here. Let's see here. Tarmac space. Oh, yeah, definitely prioritize that. The next thing, of course, I'm going to be interested in prioritization. Go to facility. Again, we're going to click the little button down there at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and select, let's see here, structure open. I believe we got all that. Building, surface plane. I don't care about those things. Let's see, surface building, anything. Oh, hangars. We're going to go ahead and order up surface buildings next, which unfortunately will destroy the latrine. And we're going to set priority number 1 to go ahead and destroy said item that I was mentioning earlier. All right, let's go ahead and set this to structure open. We're going to go set this to oops, sorry. Helps if you do it correctly. Let's go down here. Okay, number 1 priority is to destroy that building. All the other priorities are going to be going down from there. But you can see now is we're sort of ignoring the runway in our attack here during our little patrol that we're going to be doing over the ground there. So this is going to work fairly well. This is all set. That's all set. I don't need to change any of those things. I don't need to change any of those things. That's fine. I'm happy with that. We don't want opportunity targets. We don't want them to get carried away here. And let's go double check BVR, navigation, missile waypoints, navigation. Just going to check to make sure I didn't miss anything important here. Nuclear weapons. That sounds like it'll do the trick. No, don't do that. That looks pretty good to me. And we're going to go back to mission settings. That looks pretty good to me. Yep, I like that. That's good. Looks good. Looks awesome. Excellent. So one of the things you can do, of course, is you can get in here and start fitzing with all this. But for today, I'm just not going to worry about it. We can also do dynamic missions and everything, but getting way, 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 way ahead of us here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. What's going to happen in a few moments is our aircraft carrier is going to start deploying aircraft. Let's see, our first guy off the loose. Oh, we have an A6A. Oh, sweet. These guys are going to come ripping in here. Now, remember, this time I did not order an automatic attack or a manual attack. This crew is acting completely based on what WRA I've installed upon them. So they're going to have to pick what their priority targets are as they come rushing into the little area here. You can just imagine the people in this part of Florida just looking up going, that's strange. I didn't realize the military were doing some practice exercises today. Meanwhile, I'm like, All right, pause. Now, if you look very, very carefully, you'll notice as soon as they arrived on the scene here, let me go ahead and switch to F9, you'll notice that this chap right here started locking on to something almost immediately. And if I go ahead and pause for just a little bit, one of these times they're going to add us a 1/2 speed. And you're all probably going, why would they do a 1/2 speed? Well, it's for moments like this when you want to see the humor in action that you'd want the 1/2 speed. So what you're observing now is this guy, of course, released his bombs, which makes sense because that's one of his priority targets here. You're also noticing that our entire group is now making a rush directly towards the primary target. So our VA number 1, our maximum attacker here, is going to get him in. Look at that. He goes ahead and deploys his bomb. Now, you're probably saying, wait a minute, why did they attack all these things on the way? Well, the reason is because this chap was actually the farthest out front, and he had already selected this latrine as his target. So these guys were completely free to attack whatever target they felt like prioritizing at this particular point. So let's go ahead and swing this back to normal mode here. That would make me crazy. So you'll see that we're actually attacking, pause, multiple targets here. We're taking a pot shot at the latrine, which was the priority target. We're also attacking this hangar space, which is a priority target. We're also attacking this lovely weather shelter here, which was another priority target as well. So the bombs come rolling down here. And you can see, oh my gosh, you guys missed so bad. Naughty, oh my gosh. Now the next crew arrives, and they're going to do the same thing. So take a look. Watch this, watch this. So you can see they're prioritizing the new targets. That is exactly what we wanted them to do. I mean, they're not doing the most incredible job of it, but notice their that priority target is quite the priority. Come on! All right, how much U.S. Navy aircraft does it take to destroy a little tiny building chilling in the woods there? Notice they keep prioritizing it over and over again, but obviously if there's bombs on the way already, they're smart enough to know. Oh, here comes the strafing runs. There's, oh boy, this is going to be fun. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Go, my pretties. Bum, 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 bum. It's just fun to do. Now, again, they prioritize the things that are specifically assigned to them. One of the reasons that more than one person did not drop a bomb on the same target is because they're not supposed to, which is actually very desirable there. So if actually we go back up to F11 real quickly here, I've got my kind of piece. I really wish I could make this unspecified kind of a thing. So I'll drop it down to 1,000 feet. And attack altitude, of course, you can do 1,000 feet too, just to make it so that when they're ripping back down there, they don't go strafing past the thing they're trying to shoot at. And you can see they're just going to kind of rip back and forth, kind of do all their little bomb things, continue their little patrol, try and identify targets. So let's go ahead and pause and let's grab ourselves some losses and expenditures here. You can see that we did a little bit of damage because we prioritized the hangars as well as the tarmac spaces. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that our expenditures are pretty heavy duty here. But we didn't do a lot of damage to a lot of buildings. And again, the reason for that is not on account of the fact that the target priority was incorrect. It's on account of the fact that the bombs are just not accurate if you drop them from 12,000 feet with 1965 technology here. So again, that's going to have a big impact on it. You can see just how many of those we just dropped on the targets. Now, if I switch to the other team real fast, now we can go show you the impact of this. Go ahead and press the F9 key, or I'm sorry, the regular 9 key, and you can see that the things I wanted us to attack were actually exactly the things that were attacked. Now keep in mind here that most of it did not get blown up. The reason most of it did not get blown up is on account of the fact we just didn't hit it. So obviously if we're working with, let's see here, Mavericks, for example, we probably would have destroyed, or even Bullpups, we would have probably been a little more successful here. But you'll see things like the hangars, the weather shelters, the tarmac spaces, and of course, the little building that I've been making fun of, which did get fire set to it, by the way. I just want to point that out real quickly. So it was a successful operation overall. So the takeaways here for this new feature is it's very, very powerful. You can assign it by unit. You can assign it by side. And the other thing you have to remember is when you're doing automatic and manual attacks, it's going to kind of be ignored. The best place to do this is to use it in places where the aircraft have to make a decision on their own who they want to engage. Now, one of the things that I've seen that works really, really well with this is if I were a SAM battery, I could actually have my SAMs prioritize everything that is a particular type of aircraft. We'll show that to you really, really quick here, just in case you're curious. Grab myself an SA2. Of course, it's going to be an SA2. Why wouldn't it be an SA2? SA2. Oh, let's see here. It's probably going to be a C or a B here. Probably a B. Maybe a D. We'll go with a D. Why not? All right, Soviet Union, the DE. The DE is actually the nice one, in my opinion, when it comes to the SA2. The new ones have like digital displays, but that one is the one that's always in my heart. So if I press Control-Shift F9, go ahead and head up to targeting priority. Create a targeting priority. I'll go ahead and add an item, aircraft, and if I wanted to, I could have them specify attacking specific types. So for example, I want my SA2s to only target attack aircraft. If I press add now, they're going to attack those guys before they're going to attack other aircraft. So if there's a bunch of Phantoms over here and a bunch of A6s here at the same time, this crew will actually engage that particular type of aircraft real quick. And to show you how that works, I'm actually going to flip on the sensors real quick here just to sort of demonstrate. Oh my gosh, it's a P12. Ah, it's so ancient. All right, let's go grab them real fast. Control V, I like that. Let's go ahead and grab this one, and we're going to waste basically a couple aircraft here just to demonstrate my point. A6A, that sounds good to me. You've got a bullpup because I still want to get revenge on something in a minute. And we'll go over here and grab an F4B because it's going to be a little old school. 1962, that looks pretty good to me. And we're going to carry some of these. We're going to order both of these to drop down to a low altitude. We're going to drop you down to low altitude, and we're also going to adjust this side's logic so that it can identify what type of aircraft it is. Let's see, awareness level, auto side, and unit ID. That's the one I wanted. All right, let's flip over here real fast. Unpause. I'm going to go ahead and grab my SAM crew here. I'm actually going to change the proficiency. The reason I want to change the proficiency here is I want to make them a little bit quicker on the draw. So they're going to, of course, see those two targets right there. They're going to start immediately working out the math. Let's go ahead and grab it so you can see what the math looks like in action here. Let's see here. We're not attacking them yet because they haven't been identified as hostile yet. All right, we definitely are seeing them. We're able to identify what type. This crew now, of course, knows to go ahead and begin the process of locking on and starting to target and everything along those lines. Go ahead and say no right there. Of course, if they were going to engage with their illuminator, they'll turn on in a second. I'm not worried about it just yet. So this crew right now is working out everything. They're sitting there, the SAM crews, the gyros on the SA-2 missiles are being spoiled up. Basically, he's going over to his different mode. He's switching from the wide band, and he's going to flip the switch to the right, and he's going to switch to basically the receive only mode, the LoRo mode. I forget exactly what it's called. It's been a while since I fired one of these things. All right, so he's going to sit there. He sees the two targets, very cool, calm, confidently. He's working out. I'll go ahead and make sure he's allowed to go ahead and engage anybody he feels like engaging. I'm going to go ahead and just give him a couple more moments to go ahead and lock on. Remember, these systems took a little while to work out the targets here. So even though we have a pretty good sight on them, he's still got to wait until they get into a position where they can actually engage. All right, they're getting themselves all lined up. He's probably working on the shot any moment now. He's got to wait until they get into the little flight envelope. Missiles locking on here, probably flipping on his fire control radar. He's got to flip the safety off. He's got a pretty good look. And again, he knows what both types of aircraft he's dealing with here. And the weapon's on the way. Off it goes. I was wondering when you guys were going to shoot. Jeez. Now, the dramatic reveal. Are they attacking the attack airplane or are they attacking the F4 Phantom? Pause. And you'll observe that the A6A intruder, which is the attack plane, is the priority target. So you can see how fantastically useful this is for people who are designing scenarios and trying to adjust sort of the way that doctrine adjusts with time. And of course, we have to watch what happens here. So our poor A6 crew is immediately going to start beaming that missile, assuming they got enough warning. Again, this is the early version of the A6. They might not even have known it. It's also an early 6 to the SA2. So unfortunately, oh, there goes another one. Whoa. No, that's an SA2 if I've ever seen one. They never leave the rail straight, by the way. They go straight for a little bit, and then they go whoa, 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 and start doing weird spirals. And especially depending on what lead mode he clicked the switch over to when he took this shot, I'd be very surprised there. Oh, that one's going to go a little short. Now, if the A6 crew was smart, they just dive straight down and push the missile into the ground, especially the older versions. I hate to say it, but I think my A6 is going to get away clean here. Oh, look at that shot. Oh, I love that. Oh man, I've done so many shots like that with the. Oh, there's the lead. There's the lead. Nope, a little short. Little short. Come on. Ah, my A6 survives. Enjoy.